Let's get started. Good morning. Hope you're well and keeping up the practice. So we're going to work our way through our Saturday morning Ashtanga class today. Just want to talk about a couple of things really about the practice before we start. So I'm constantly looking at ways to get the healing from the practice. Okay, get all of the good stuff from the practice, not just the physicality and the exercise, if you like, because the physicality and the exercise part is good, but on its own is really just aerobics. Okay, what makes this yoga is our connection to the practice, our connection with ourselves, and our connection with our breath. And why does this make us such a difference? Well, it's kind of about attitude towards the practice. It's kind of how we hold ourselves from the practice, whether we can take away all of the stress from the practice. Like in the rest of our lives, when we have tasks to do, there's elements of stress there. You know, we kind of almost build the stress into the activity. I don't know, maybe it's getting on your bike and going and do a job or whatever it is you have to do. All of a sudden we're like, right, okay, I've got to do these things, and all of a sudden you're in this slightly stressed situation. Okay, and what happens with that? That makes the body a little bit stressed, a little bit, and we want to bring calmness. How do we do this? We calm the nervous system. Okay, you think of our bodies like in layers. So we have a muscular layer. This is very loose anatomy here. Okay, but if we think about it in layers, we have our muscles, and around all of this, around all of the muscles and the tendons and things like this, we have a nervous system. And then on top of that, we have our skin layer and all of that. Okay, and the nervous system connects to everything, connects everywhere. And it also makes decisions for our muscles about how they're going to deal with stuff, you know. So if we can bring calmness to the nervous system, can bring calmness to the body, and we become more flexible throughout completely, and it brings about the healing. So our muscles are not constantly in tension. Okay, so we're going to work on that a little bit today. And then if we can bring some of this calmness, come up onto your knees, just come and sit on the knees nice and comfortable. You can come and sit on a block here. We're just going to work with some pranayama for a moment, because the pranayama is how we bring about the calmness. And if we start the practice with this pranayama, the movement will come, okay? All of the understanding of the postures will come a lot quicker if we're not pushing all the time to get into these postures. Okay, and allow the body to mold itself into these things, okay, with the use of the breath, with this calmness. So we kind of change it to, especially in the West, a lot of our world is built around stress. Come and sit on the heels, or you can have your knees apart, whatever's comfortable for you here. Put a cushion in here, a block. I just don't want you to think about being uncomfortable while we're focusing on breathing. Okay, bring the hands just to the thighs. And we're just going to take a few breaths. Just close your eyes for now and just take a few breaths, just inhaling, exhaling through the nose. Filling up the lungs and then emptying again. And we're going to find the beginnings and the endings of the breath. So you don't create these beginnings and endings. We start the breath, we fill up the lungs, and when you're completely full and there's no more air to take in, then you slowly, slowly exhale. And all of the air has left the body, That's the end of the exhale. Not until all of the air is left. And then we start the inhale, that's the beginning. And we keep inhaling until it's not possible anymore. We're completely full. And that's the end of the inhale, and that's the beginning of the exhale. And just continue finding these beginnings and these endings. Not trying to create these beginnings and these endings, but following the breath, as the breath is the power. Just do that one more time. Inhale through the nose when you're ready. Filling to the top, and then slowly, 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 no rush to exhale. Next inhale, open the chest, open the throat. Exhale, coming forwards. Movement will last the whole length of the exhale. Head coming down last of the breath. And then we start to inhale, coming back up. Let this movement, the throat opens at the last. And then exhale. Inhale. Make the movement last the whole length of the breath. And when the breath is finished, then we begin the exhale. Inhale. Open shoulders back and down. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Just gently rest your head on the floor here. And stay with the same rhythm of the breath. Okay, just slowly come up. We're going to spread the knees a little bit, just so we can come back down into child's pose. Or you can keep the knees together and just stay with this same breath. And keep your head, just gently rest your head on the floor. I'm going to lift mine up so you can hear me. So we're going to try and keep this breath through the whole of the practice today. Okay, don't worry about the perfect postures, or even if you have to drop out of a couple of postures, just focus on keeping your breath. Okay, and checking in constantly with how everything feels for you. Okay, don't make this a big struggle. Life is a struggle sometimes already. We don't need to make the practice a struggle also. Remember, this is a relationship with yourself, okay? You've got to be nice to yourself. All right, let's just gently rest the head down. Keep the hands active. Fingers spread. Staying with these same breaths. We're going to try and keep these breaths for the whole practice. Walk these hands around to the left side. Let's bring the left chin. Let's bring the chin to the left knee and reach through the right side of the body so you really get a stretch all through the side of the ribs underneath the armpit. Staying with these same breaths. Breathe. Let's bring this left elbow into the body, lift up. Reach through the right side of the body to look to the palm. Exhale, come back, and let's come back around to the front side. Take a breath in and out here. And walk the hands around to the right side, keeping the body nice and low. Bring the chin to the right knee and really stretching now through this left side of the body. So we get stretch under the armpit, through the rib cage, down by the kidneys, into the hip flexor. Bring the right elbow into the body. Let's lift up and look to the left palm. Reach through the left side. Come back to the floor and all the way around to the front side. Let's take a breath in and out here. Calm. Nervous system. Just start to roll the head gently from side to side. Just loosening the neck. And still just checking in with how everything feels, making this connection with the whole body, scanning through, bringing a little bit of recognition to the whole body. Start to spread the fingers. Spread the hands, make the hands active, and let's come up into all fours. Tuck under the toes. Okay, and bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Stay with the breath and this connection with the body. This is really important, especially at this beginning stage, where it's maybe the first time you've checked in today. Just start to sway a little bit and feel the weight into each digit of the fingers. Feel the weight into the shoulders, dropping into the hips a little bit. And we're going to start to just move with the breath, but we're also going to now link the body by using the perineum, by using the mula bandha. Okay, so squeeze the perineum and pull yourself with your perineum back onto your left heel. Come onto the right side, squash into the toes, make the toes active, and push forwards with the perineum. Bring the shoulders over the top of the fingers so we stretch the back of the forearm. Stretch the wrists right over the top and squeeze the perineum, pull yourself back. Inhale, push yourself forwards, shoulders come right the way over, exhale back. Still following these breaths, inhale, come forwards. Exhale, come back. Inhale, forwards. When you get to the left hand, let's drop back to the right side. Come back into the right heel, squash the toes. Inhale, come forwards. Exhale, back. One more time, forwards. One more time, back. And then let's find ourselves back in this neutral position. Make sure your thighs are perpendicular to the floor, so they're at right angles. Tuck under the toes, keep the tailbone up like we're in the happy cat. Chest coming forwards, and we start to walk ourselves down. And keep walking the hands forwards with the desire to bring the chest to the floor or to the forehead. If you have the arms forwards, don't scrunch your shoulders up around your ears. We'll try and pull the shoulders down away from the ears. We're in puppy dog pose. Tailbone up as high as possible. Trying to find this length in the spine, this opening through each vertebrae. And breathe, calm breaths. Try and remember how this feels, this beautiful stretch, because this is how it wants to feel when you're back up in downward dog in a moment, which we will be. And looking to the hands, let's walk the hands back, up underneath the shoulders. Make sure your knees are still underneath your hips. Inhale, up into the happy cat, roll the shoulders back, tailbone up. Exhale, draw the tailbone down, squeeze the mula bandha, pull the tailbone between the legs and pull the ribs up, bring the chin into the chest. Inhale, open, tailbone up, shoulders back, chin coming forwards. Exhale, tailbone down, bring the chin into the chest. Again, all this movement's going to start from the perineum. So pull the tailbone up, hips move, pelvis moves, rib cage moves, shoulders and neck. And then exhale, draw the tailbone down, pull the hip bone back, the pelvis back, rib cage comes up, chin comes into the chest, tuck under the toes and come up into downward dog. And then just pedal through here for a little bit. Same breaths, it's calm breaths. Did your breath change? Let's bring it back to where it was. Just pedal through the feet, just checking in with everything, how everything feels, checking in with our energy levels, just accepting, looking to the hands and then stepping forwards the right foot. Calm breaths, breathe. Let's try and find this length into this posture. We don't really want to be so much up here. We want to try and bring this down, hips down, chin coming long. Maybe hands will be on blocks if it needs to be. Breathe. Just we start to put the body under a little bit of fatigue and we keep this same calmness in the breath, in the face. Let's step back into downward dog. Calm. And looking to the hands, let's step forwards, left foot. Heels of the hands again in line with the heels of the front foot. Breathe, calm breaths. Bring calmness to the body, calmness to the posture. Nice to ourselves. Looking to the hands, let's step forward, right foot, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift the chin, let's come all the way up. Reach up the hands. And then exhale, bring the hands through the center of the body. Stand in Tadasana. Ready to begin? Good. Again, really important, keep the calmness. If it means you have to skip a bit of the posture, it's fine. I'd rather you skip the posture than the breath, okay? Because if we can't breathe, we can't do anything. Okay, so let's breathe. Okay, inhale up the hands, fill the lungs. Remember, that's all we're doing. We're just filling and emptying the lungs. Everything else is a consequence. Reach up, exhale, push back the hips, and exhale as we fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen. Nice smiley face. Exhale, step back, right and left foot into plank. Pull the body over the heels in plank, okay? Pulling ourselves backwards, squeezing the Mula Bandha, come down through Chaturanga. Inhale up, stretch your feet, just hands and feet only on the floor. Exhale, come back into downward dog. Good. Let's take 5 breaths here. A little bit more length through the spine, so maybe bend your knees, okay? Bring your tailbone up. Remember what this felt like in puppy dog. Try and find that space between each vertebrae, but most importantly, find the space to breathe. And look to the hands. Let's step forward, right and left foot. Halfway left. Extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Looking to the thumbs, exhale. We're starting to get a little bit warmer. Don't let the body trick you into going into panic mode. Just keep the breath calm. Inhale, back up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back if that's in your practice. Come into plank. I'm going to give you a variation of chaturanga. Come to knees. Bring your bottom up like you in that happy cat. And then come down. Elbows touch the ribs and we push the knees forwards. Come up into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. 5 breaths, calm. Bent knees if it's necessary. Tailbone up. Looking to the hands, step forwards, right and left foot, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, let's come all the way up. Reach to the hands. Exhale, calmness. Each movement is either an inhale or exhale. Make the movement last the whole breath. So the movement becomes more about the breath than it does the movement, okay? Inhale. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale. Exhale. And come down. Inhale. Exhale. Five breaths here, calm breaths. If it's too much, give yourself a break. Come down. Just come down for a moment, okay? It's not a problem. It's your practice. It's all about you, your relationship with you today. Not your relationship with you yesterday or next week. It's today, right now. What's happening with you? Let's look to the hands, step forwards, right and left foot. Halfway left. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Looking to the thumbs and exhale. Calm through the body. Smile on your face. Surya Namaskara B. Ready? Bend the knees. Sweep the fingers through the mat. And come up into Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, tip the hips forwards and fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to shins. Exhale, let's step back into plank. Come down in your variation of chaturanga. Inhale, open into upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Step the left foot to the side. Right foot's going to come between the hands. Empty the air here. And then inhale, lift up into Virabhadrasana. Hips facing forwards, drive with the hips. Exhale, come down. All the way through chaturanga. Inhale, open. Come back into downward dog. We're going to step the right foot to the side. Left foot comes forwards. And lift up into Virabhadrasana. Exhale, all the way down. Through chaturanga. Inhale, open. Exhale, come back into downward dog. Let's take 5 breaths, calm. We're starting to put the body through a little bit of fatigue. And we keep the breath nice and calm, can we? Look into the hands, step forward right and left foot, halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep the fingers through the mat. And come up into Utkatasana. Exhale. Good. Let's do one more. Bend the knees. Sweep the fingers through the mat. Come up into Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, tip the hips forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Stretch your neck, shoulders back. Exhale, step back into plank. Pulling the body over the heels of the feet. Come down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And back into downward facing dog. Let's step the right foot between the hands. Empty the air and lift up into Virabhadrasana. Warrior one. Exhale, come all the way down through chaturanga. Inhale, open. Exhale, come back into downward dog and step the left foot forwards. Left knee over left ankle. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, come down. All the way through chaturanga. Inhale, open. And come back into downward dog. Let's take 5 breaths here. And looking to the hands, you can step or hop forwards, right and left foot. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward. Inhale, bend the knees and sweep the fingers through the mat. Come up into Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale. Okay, sun salutation's finished. Calm the nervous system, calm the breath. Feet hip distance apart, sides of the feet parallel with the sides of the mat. Push back the hips. Okay, so we're folding from these hinges, switch on the Mula Bandha, and then fold forward. See if we can get these toes. Grab the toes with the first 2 fingers and the thumb, and then stand back on the toes. Make sure the little toes are also pushing into the floor. And let's come down into Padangusthasana. Breathe, calm breaths. Inhale, come back up. Let's bring the hands underneath the soles of the feet. Pull the toes back. You might need your knees bent a lot here. This is fine. This is okay. If you're like this and you have your knees bent, just keep tipping the tailbone. Just keep trying to tip the tailbone. That's when you're going to get the stretch on your glutes. Okay? Breathe, calm breaths. Okay, and let's come back up, halfway lift, and then come all the way up. Come to the top of your mat. So, we're going to continue, but I just want to say, look, so what's happening? Do you find yourself constantly when you're in practice, when you're in a battle with yourself? Don't let this be the case, because you will lose, okay? Clearly. Don't make this about ego, okay? This is about understanding. It's about understanding yourself. about being nice to yourself. Shoulders back and down, come back to Tadasana. We're going to step out, left foot. Sides of the feet parallel with the sides of the mat. Let's bring the ankles underneath the wrists. And we'll turn out the left foot, because this is the way I'm facing. And looking to the left toes, come down and collect. Again, you know you can bend this knee. Stand back on the toes. Open the hip, turn, and reach up through the right hand, through the right arm, reaching the two arms from each other. And bring the right hand back to the hip, turn to face the toes, and come back up. Use your core strength to push yourself up. Turn the left foot in, right foot out. Okay, open the hips to me here, okay? And then you're going to think about bending this knee. This knee's going to try and turn in. No. Okay, try and keep this knee trapped over this front toe. So that's why I always bring the hand inside here, okay? Because if you bring it outside, it pushes this knee over. I want this knee to go that way. So I bring the hand inside to collect the toes. That stops that knee from trying to push over. Okay, if you have it on the other side, it's trying to go that way, just bring the hand that way. Little things we find about our own bodies, okay? Let's straighten the knee if it's possible. If it's not, that's fine. Rotate through the shoulders. Find the extension. Last. Don't try to make all of this movement happen just with your arm. Let's bring the hand back to the hip. Turn to face the toes. And lift back up. We'll turn the right foot in, left foot out. And this time, we're bringing the hips so they're facing the back of the mat. Okay, so just find this. This is part one, just understanding this part without falling over. Okay, find the stability. It's just hard enough as it is. Inhale up through the right side, extend down to the outside of the left foot onto a block or onto the floor. And rotate through the shoulders. And then we look to the thumb. Breaths, calm breaths. Bring the hand back to the hip. Turn to face the toes. And let's come back up. And we'll turn this left foot in. Right foot out. Inhale. And exhale, fold. Again, you can always come to the inside and find this rotation here. And when you get more flexible, come to the outside. Find the rotation. Let's bring the hand back to the hip. Turn to face the toes. And let's come back up. Use the core and step forwards to the top of the mat. Samastiti. You're doing all right? Good. Let's step out again. Sideways on the mat. Sides of the feet a little bit wider. We're going to turn out the left foot. Okay. And we'll bring the left hand to the outside of the left foot. The right toes all into the floor. And then lift up, looking to the right palm. Really stretch, reach through all of the right side of the body. Trying to find this one line from your fingertips to your little toe. Looking to the palm. Bring some calmness to your breath. And bring the hand back to the floor. Let's push up. Turn this right foot in, left foot out. And come and stack your knee back over your right knee, back over your right ankle. Right hand to the floor, and then again reaching through, bringing activation to your left ankle and the left little toe. Breathe. Find that extension through the left side of the body. Okay, let's bring the hand back to the floor. Turn to face the front toes and step to the top of your mat. Samastiti. Good. Okay, let's step out with the right foot and we turn to face the back of the mat. Bring the hands up or into, just collect your elbows, open the chest, and then exhale to come forwards. Inhale. Let's come back up. And keep the hands where they are and turn the right foot in and left foot out. So we're now facing back the front of the mat. Inhale, open the chest, bring the shoulders back. And exhale to come forwards. Looking to your toes, keeping your breath nice and calm. Breathe. Inhale, let's come back up. Use the core and step to the top of the mat. Release the hands. Samastiti. We're doing good. Okay. Maybe we'll bring this to the floor. Inhale, let's come up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway left. Exhale, let's step back and come down through chaturanga. Inhale, open the front of the body. Exhale back into downward dog. Let's step the left foot to the side, step the right foot forwards. Lift up into Virabhadrasana. Hold. Okay, straighten the front leg. Turn the right foot in, left foot out. We come to Virabhadrasana at the other end. Breathe. And open out into Warrior Two. Left knee over left ankle. Looking down your left fingertips. Breathe. Turn the left foot in, right foot out. Looking down the right fingertips. No cheating. Bring the hands down. Let's step back. Come down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Back into downward facing dog. Let's bring the toes together. Spread the knees. Come back and sit on your heels. And come down into child's pose. Let's have a little break here for a moment. Collect your breath. I'm going to lift my head to talk to you. You keep your head down there, relax for a moment. Right. So we did a few sun salutations. We did some standing postures. Did some warrior poses. That always gets the body going. Okay, gets the adrenaline going. And it sometimes gets us also into this kind of slightly stressed. Okay. This is why we need to calm the breath. If we can calm the breath through sun salutations and the standing postures, and then it starts to make it a little bit more composed through the sitting postures. Okay. One or two more breaths down here in child's pose. Just start to make the hands active. And look into the hands. Let's push ourselves up into downward dog. And then looking, we'll hop into sitting. Okay, good. Straight on this mat. Excellent. Okay, let's come into your sitting posture, come into Dandasana. Get your block, if you have it, or your book, or whatever else you have, a hedgehog or something you can put your foot on. All right. Okay, come into Dandasana. You need to understand this. Everything switched on. Toes looking back onto your sit bones. Draw in the navel. Lift up the chest. Breathe into this chest cavity. Hands are just like 5% on the floor. They're just active and not doing anything. Stare at your toes. Draw the toes back towards you. Okay, we're going to try a lifting off thing. Okay, so bring the hands. No cheating. Don't think I won't know. Okay, got spies everywhere. Right. Okay, you ready? Take a deep inhale. Keep calm and lift. Squeeze the perineum and lift up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Well done. Okay, get your block. Block on there. I mean, you've probably been doing this every day, so you're probably professionals. Now, let's go. Ready? Nice and tall. Squeeze the perineum and lift up. Try not to think about pushing too much into the hands. Inhale, lift up. One foot to the other foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And come down and swap feet. Okay, you ready? Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Excellent work. Inhale, lift up through the hands. Exhale, fold forwards. Collect these toes. You know the drill, you can use a belt or a towel, you can bend the knees. Whatever you do, try to take this bump out of the back so we can do this, okay? And then you can straighten the knees whenever it's possible. Staring at the toes, try to bring the feet level so we don't want the feet turning out like this. Hook the toes, toes hook the fingers. Inhale, open, and exhale, come down a little bit more. Staring at the toes. Breathe into your back. Breathe into your ribs. Find the calmness in the breath. Inhale, let's lift up these hands back. Bring these fingers pointing back towards the sit bones. Just like one hand distance back. We don't want them right back here because you won't be able to lift yourself. So just sort of one hand space behind, fingers pointing back towards the glutes. Let's lift up. Open the throat, breathe. And come back to the floor. Let's cross feet. And take a little vinyasa. So we'll rock up onto the hands, step back and come down through chaturanga. Inhale, open into upward facing dog and back into downward facing dog. And let's look to the hands and we'll squeeze the perineum, do a little hop. Maybe we'll do a little hop, sit. Let's try. If you don't try, you'll never fly. Okay, let's bring this left leg into Janusasana. Open out the right thigh, looking to the left toes. You can use the belt, the towel, or bend the knee, as you know. Try and keep this alignment with your second toe, your knee. Whatever you decide, breathe, calm breaths. Don't be in a fight with yourself. Life struggles do not need to come onto the mat. Inhale, let's come back up and we're going to swap feet. Left foot comes in. Again, just treating all of these sitting postures like they're in stages. So this is part one. And then we'll see if we can come into part two. Okay, and release the right leg. Let's cross our feet. Take a little rock up onto the hands and step back and come down for chaturanga. Inhale, open into Ardha Mukha Svanasana and back into Ardha Mukha Svanasana. And then look to the hands. We'll take a little hop, hop, and sit. Excellent. Come into Mrichasana. Mrichasana A. I'm going to come around this side so you can see what's going on. We start by just hugging this knee into the chest. Make sure this is switched on, this left side, okay? Okay, start, just hug this knee into the chest and then we see if we can push the knee behind us, okay? And if it's possible, then we can come and wrap, we can come and grab a towel, or whatever we need to do. Use the breath to get into the posture. So we inhale, create the space, and exhale to achieve the posture. And then we take an inhale, and then we exhale, and come a little bit deeper. The breath decides where we go next. Okay, and release the hands. And let's take this left foot to Janusasana B. This is the easier option. We bring this left foot underneath, as tight into the glutes as possible. And we come around. For those that have a little bit more flexibility, we take this left foot into the hip crease, into Ardha Baddha Padma, and we can come up like this. No problems with the knees here, okay? Any stresses on the knees, and we'll pull out, come out of the posture. Bring some calmness to your posture, calmness to the face. Release the hands. And take this foot back down. And let's take this left foot actually into Janusasana A. Wrap around. Again, if we're just at the beginning stages, we're just going to be here. And you're going to keep trying to push this knee back behind you. Okay, good. Looking to the toes. Try and find all of the places of discomfort that you're finding in this posture and try to resolve them. So it might be that you're scrunched up around your collarbone, your shoulders. Release that. Let this neck be free. Release the hands. We'll take this right foot again for option A and come around. Or if we try option B, if it's possible. If it's possible in option B, the full posture, you need to have this thigh on the floor. So that knee is protected. And release. Let's release back out. We're going to cross feet. Rock up onto the hands. Step back. Come down for chaturanga. Inhale, open. And exhale back into downward dog. Looking to the hands. Take a little hop and sit. Doesn't even matter if your hop is a centimetre off the floor. Just try. Today it's that. Next time it'll be a little bit more. We build the information into the body, okay? If we don't try things, we'll never be able to do things. We have to try. Okay, let's bring this right leg into the body. Again, now this time, as you can see, my right hand's behind, fingers pointing away. Don't have this hand right back here because you've collapsed into the posture here, okay? You've lost all your flexibility. We want to rotate through the back. So if you bring your hand up a little bit closer to the body, I usually use it to help me to sit up straight, okay? And then with the left hand, we're going to hug the right knee, and you're trying to push this right knee underneath your left armpit. And so rotate through the shoulders, and you keep bringing yourself around. And then maybe you can bring the left hand. Don't make all the movement with your neck either, it's with the shoulders. And breathe here. Okay, let's release, come back around. We'll do the left side. I'll stay this way so you can see what it looks like from this side. This leg has to be switched on. If this is off, then with the body, it's much harder to control what's going on with the rest of the body, okay? This is like your stabilizer. Second stabilizer is the hand. So now we have a stabilized body. Now we can think about what we're doing. So we can start to think about how we move this. How we start to rotate through the spine. You'll find with these rotations, especially through the spine, it's a lot easier if you're breathing. Okay, and you're just going to find your way around. If you hold your breath, your body goes tight. And it's almost like you end up in a fight with your own self. Just try and find the breaths. Each exhale, we might find a little bit more movement. And slowly coming back around to the front side. And let's take a little vinyasa. Cross the feet, Step back, come down through chaturanga. Inhale, open, stretch your feet, and exhale back into downward dog. We take a little hop and sit. Okay, good. There's lots of vinyasas in Ashtanga. Indeed there is. Okay, right, let's come into Navasana. Navasana is boat pose. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of core strength. Okay, it's fine. Keep your breath, don't go into panic. I'm going to give you loads of options. Most importantly, in Navasana, stay on your sit bones. Don't go wandering off back here into your sacrum, because it's going to be bad for you. Okay, it's bad for your back, it's bad for your sacrum. Stay on the sit bones. Okay, we're going to use our core strength. Let's use our hands a little bit as well. Option one is we stay like this. Feet are on the floor, knees up, and then we just lean backwards. Okay, just before you get onto your sacrum, staying on the sit bones, keeping the balance. Option B, going to be like this. Okay, option C, you can hold the legs like this. Option C, we're going to see if we can do this, the full posture, okay? You ready? That was just a practice. And we're each in between, we're going to hold for 5 breaths, and in between, you have a little bump. You're going to lift up. Even if it's only a tiny bit, just try. And all of this is going to be done from here, from the perineum, okay? Yes, come on, we can do this. Ready? Let's go. I'm going to do the full posture because that's what I do. All right. Okay, onto the sit bones. Let's lift up. Remember all of these other options. I feel like I'm cheating if I do that. Okay. 5, 4, 3, don't hold your breath. 2, 1. Let's cross the feet. Bump. Again. 1. We'll do 3 rounds. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross feet and bump. 1 more. Come on. Hip flexors are going to start burning, but it's fine. Your legs won't fall off. Are we? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, cross feet. This time we step jump back into chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale back into downward dog. Looking to the hands. We're going to jump forwards into Bhujapadasana. Okay, so just jump, hands forwards, feet forwards, or walk them forwards. Now I know this is a difficult posture, but we're just going to try it. Okay, you come and stand on the hands, push the elbows out underneath the knees. This is part 1. Try and get your tailbone down. If your tailbone's up here, your head's too far forwards, okay? Okay. And we're going to walk the feet. We're going to walk the feet to each other and see if we can cross feet. And then we try and bring the chin down. Or maybe you just land on your forehead for now. 5 breaths. And then come back out. Cross feet. Well, it needs to be this way. We'll come back to chaturanga. Inhale. Exhale back into downward dog. And looking to the hands, let's come step back into sitting. So Bhujapadasana is quite a difficult posture. I'll deal with that another time. We'll break that down. I'll just probably play around with that because that's the next posture in the series. After Navasana, we come into Bhujapadasana. Okay, so that's what's going to happen next. Anyway, let's come onto our backs. which you're probably happy to be doing. And we'll hook the right toes with the left fingers and extend through the heel of the right foot. Take a deep inhale, and with an exhale, we'll let this foot come out over to the left side, looking down your right fingertips. Extending through the heel, so we don't just let this leg completely relax. We're trying to drive it through the heel of the foot so we can open up through this hip and this glute. Nice, calm breaths. Inhale, let's come back up, and we're going to swap hands and take the right fingers. This left leg, incidentally, needs to be completely engaged. And we'll just take this right foot out to the right side. Looking down, your left, holding your left hip and your left shoulder onto the floor. Inhale, let's come back up. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, let's bring the chin and the shin together. Use the core, and then come back down to the floor. Let's let this right leg come down, and we'll hook the left toes with the left fingers. Again, open the left palm, extend through the left heel, and now those come out to the right side. Pushing through the right heel of the body, so we can open up into this left, into the middle of the back, and also into the hip and the glute muscle of the left side. Nice calm breath, just breathe, let the body open here. Nice calming postures, these. Supta Padangusthasana. Inhale, let's come back up. Swap hands, so we take the left fingers and the thumb to the left toe. Inhale, and then exhale out to the left side. Looking down your right side, trying to keep your right hip and your right shoulder onto the floor. Inhale, let's come back up. Take a deep inhale. And with an exhale, we'll bring the chin and the shin together. Hold. And lower the left leg down. Okay, let's cross the feet and rock to sitting. Let's just have a little rock through the spine. It's really good to just roll. And then we're going to rock up onto the hands. We're going to rock up, lift up, and then we're going to jump back into Chaturanga. Inhale, open the front of the body. Exhale. Let's come back into downward dog. Our last downward dog, you might be happy to know. And then let's do a little hop and sit. and come back into Shavasana. Just lying back in Shavasana, just calm. It's a nice little adventure we just went on there, wasn't it? Right from the beginning, when we were just sitting, breathing, and focusing on our breath, until the end, when we are just lying back in Shavasana. Took ourselves on a little yoga adventure on our magic flying yoga mats. And here we are at the end. Maybe slightly different, maybe exactly the same, who knows? Just relax your whole body. Just relax your feet, start to scan through the whole body. Every time we scan through our bodies, checking in with everything, we build another little pathway to all of those parts of the body. The more we do this, the more we keep connected, okay? The more we recognize the little toe and its use, it builds this little pathway through the body. And we have this connectivity with our body, okay? It's very important. We get to understand how we work, we get to trust. And the body gets to trust us. We become one thing, okay? And just relax, nice, calm, normal breaths, just breathing normally. And just start to scan through the whole body and relaxing each part of the body. Finding where you might be holding on to stress in the body. And just relax. Relax your hips and glutes. Release any tension in the hips. Working your way up through the body, through the internal organs, up through the heart, through the chest, and up to the shoulders. Just relax the shoulders down. It's another place we hold a lot of tension sometimes. And just relax in the neck, relax your jawbone. Relax your face. I've been talking quite a lot today about the breath, about bringing calmness to the body, about taking all the stress out of the body. Because the stress and the anxiety, excuse me, the stress and the anxiety takes away our energy. Okay? It makes us tired. Just being in that state, it takes up a lot of energy. It's like wasted energy. And we can conserve all of that energy into the body if we can keep everything calm, everything we're doing on the mat to start with. And then we can keep that composure maybe when we're walking down the street, when we get on our bicycle, when we have to fight our way to work or whatever it is we're doing, when we eventually allow back to work. You know, all of these things, it don't have to be struggles. We need to reduce the amount of struggles that we have, reduce the amount of stress that we carry in the body. Because it doesn't matter how good your diet is, it doesn't matter how much you're exercising, if you can't reduce the amount of stress, it's very damaging for your whole body. Okay? We need to find the balance and try to alleviate some of the stress that we have in our lives. And some of it we kind of just put there unnecessarily. Some of it's unavoidable. I know there's difficult things, but we get a management system like this, then we can start to manage these difficult things. A couple more breaths here. If you want to stay in Shavasana, absolutely fine. Enjoy your Shavasana. If you want to finish the class with me, I'm going to start to close the class. I'd really appreciate feedback. There's a little chat thing here. Just say hello, good class, whatever. Didn't like it. I don't mind, but it's just a little bit of feedback because it's very weird, strange teaching these classes when all I really can see is a screen. So it's quite nice just to get some sort of idea if there's human beings out there. Okay, start to make your way slowly up to a sitting position. If you're staying in Shavasana, turn me off so you don't have to listen to any more. Okay, and slowly make your way back up, comfortable position. Keeping the eyes gently closed. Let's rub palms together, creating healing prana. Place the warm palms over the closed eyes. And blink your eyes open to the darkness. Turn your hands to your heart. Thank you, and have a wonderful weekend.